Hello guys, today I'm gonna read the second part of the part 1 of Fahrenheit 451. I'm gonna continue the reading from yesterday, which we left from they had this machine. If you don't believe me, you can check the video before, my last video. Okay, now we start reading. They had this machine. They had two machines, really. One of them slid down into your stomach like a black cobra down an echoing well, looking for all the old water and the old time gathered there. It drank up the green matter that flowed to the top in a slow boil. Did it drink of the darkness? Did it suck out all the poisons accumulated with the years? It fed in silence with an occasional sound of inner suffocation and blind searching. It had an eye. The impersonal operator of the machine could, by wearing a special optical helmet, gaze into the soul of the person whom he was pumping out. What did the eye see? He did not say. He saw, but did not see what the eye saw. The entire operation was not unlike the digging of a trench in one's yard. The woman on the bed was no more than a hard stratum of marble they had reached. Go on anyway. Shove this bore down, slush up the emptiness. If such a thing could be brought out in the throb of the suction ache. The operator stood smoking a cigarette. The other machine was working too. The other machine was operated by an equally impersonal fellow in non-stainable reddish brown overalls. This machine popped all of the blood from the body and replaced it with fresh blood and serum. Got to clean out both ways, said the operator, standing over the silent woman. No use getting the stomach if you don't clean the blood. Leave that stuff in the blood, and blood hits the brain like the mullet. Ban a couple of thousand times, and the brain just gives up, just quits. Stop it, said Montag. I was just saying, said the operator. Are you done? Said Montag. They shut the machines up tight. We're done. His anger did not even touch them. They stood with the cigarette smoking curling around their noses and into their eyes without making them blind or squint. That's $50. First, why don't you tell me if she'll be all right? Sure, she'll be okay. We got all mean stuff right in our suitcase here. It can't get at her now. As I said, you take out the old and put in the new, and you're okay. Neither of you is an MD. Why didn't they send an MD from emergency? How? The operator's cigarette moved on his lips. We get these cases 9 or 10 a night. Got so many. Starting a few years ago, we had the special machine built with the optical lens, of course. That was new. The rest is ancient. You don't need an MD case like this. All you need is two handymen clean up the problem in half an hour. Look, he started for the door. We gotta go. Just another call on the old old ear thimble. 10 blocks from here. Something else just jumped off the cab of a pillbox. Call if you need us again. Keep her quiet. We got a contraceptive in her. She'll wake up hungry. So long. And the men with the cigarettes in their straight-lined mouths, the men with the eyes of puff adders, took up their load of machine and tube, their case of liquid melancholy, and the slow dark sludge of numbness stuff, and they strolled out the door. Montag sank down into the chair and looked at this woman. Her eyes were closed now, gently, and he put out his hand to feel this warmness of breath on his palm. Mildred, he said at last. There are too many of us, he thought. There are billions of us. That's too many. Nobody knows anyone. Strangers come and violate you. Strangers come and cut your heart out. Strangers come and take your blood. Good God, who were those men? I never saw them before in my life. Half an hour passed. The bloodstream in this woman was new, and it seemed to have done a new thing to her. Her cheeks were very pink, and her lips were very fresh and full of color, and they looked soft and relaxed. Someone else's blood there. If only someone else's fresh flesh and brain and memory. If only they could have taken her mind along to the dry cleaners and emptied the pocket in steam and cleansed it and reblocked it and brought it back in the morning. If only he got up and put back the curtains and opened the window wide to let night air in. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Was it only an hour ago? Oh my God, this is the only word I know how to pronounce. McClellan in the street. Yeah, now I got it. And him come in, and the dark room, and his foot kicking the little crystal bottle. Only in an hour, but the world had melted down and sprung up in a new and colorless form. The laughter below across the moon-colored lawn from the house of Clarice and her father and mother and the uncle who smiled so quickly and so earnestly. Above all, their laughter was relaxed and nearty and not forced in any way, coming from the house that was so brightly lit this late at night, while all the other houses were kept to themselves in darkness. Montag heard the voices talking, giving, weaving, reweaving their hypnotic web. Oh God. Montag moved out through the fresh windows and crossed the lawn without even thinking of it. He stood outside the talking house in the shadows, thinking he might even tap on their door and whisper, "Let me come in. I won't say anything. I just want to listen. What is it you're saying?" But instead, he stood there, very cold, his face a mask of ice, listening to a man's voice, Danko, moving along at an essay pace. Well, after all, this is an age of disposable tissue. Blow your nose on a person, wet them, flush them away, reach for another, blow wet flush. Everyone using everyone's else coattails. How are you supposed to root for the home team when you don't even have the program or know the names? For that matter, what color jerseys are they wearing as they trot out onto the field? Montag moved back to his own house, left the window wide, checked Mildred, tugged the covers about her carefully, and then lay down with the moonlight on his cheekbones and on furrowing ridges in his brow, with the moonlight distilled in each eye to form a silver cataract there. Jesus. One drop of rain, Clarice. Another drop, Mildred. A third, the uncle. The fourth, the firelight. The fire tonight. 1, Clarice. 2, Mildred. 3, uncle. 4, 5. 1, Mildred. 2, Clarice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Clarice. Mildred. Uncle. Fire. Sleeping tablet. Men. Disposable tissue. Coattails. Blue, wet, flush. Clarice. Mildred. Uncle. Fire. Tablets. Tissues. Blow, wet, flush. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rain. The storm. The uncle laughing. Thunder falling downstairs, the whole world pouring down, the fire gushing up in a volcano, all rushing down around in a spouting roar and revering stream toward morning. I don't know anything anymore, he said. He let a sleep lozenge dissolve on his tongue. Okay, from the next paragraph, I'm gonna decide to read as British accent again, and maybe perhaps I will change it to normal later. Okay, I'm gonna start. At 9 in the morning, Mildred's bed was empty. Montag got up quickly, his heart pumping, and ran down the hall and stopped at the kitchen door. Toast popped out of the silver toaster, was seized by the spittery metal hand that drenched it with the melted butter. Mildred watched the toast delivered to her plate. She had both ears plugged with electronic beads that were humming the way away. She looked up suddenly. He saw him and nodded. "You're right," he asked. She was an expert at lip reading from 10 years of apprenticeship at seashell ear thimbles. She nodded again. She set the toaster clicking away at another piece of bread. Montag sat down. His wife said, "I don't know why I should be so hungry." "I'm hungry. Last night," he began. "Didn't sleep well. Feel terrible," she said. "God, I'm hungry. I can't figure it. Last night," he said again. She watched his lips casually. "What about last night? Don't you remember?" "What? Did we have a wild party or something? Felt like I have a hangover. God, I'm hungry. Who was there? Who was here?" "A few people," he said. "That's what I thought." She chewed her toast. "Sore stomach, but I'm hungry as all get out. Hope I didn't do anything foolish at the party." "No," he said quickly. The toaster spitted out a piece of buttered bread for him. He held it in his hand, feeling grateful. You don't look so hot yourself," said his wife. Okay, from next paragraph, I'm gonna read as my normal voice. Okay. And in the late afternoon, it rained, and the entire world was dark gray. Bro, God, I gotta drink water, man. He stood in the hall of his house, putting on his badge with the orange salamander burning across it. He stood looking up at the air conditioning vent in the hall for a long time. His wife in the TV parlor paused long enough from the reading her script to glance up. "Hey," she said, "the man's thinking." "Yes," he said. "I wanted to talk to you." He paused. You took all the pills in your bottle last night." "Oh, I wouldn't do that," she said, surprised. "The bottle was empty. I wouldn't do a thing like that." "Why would I do a thing like that?" she asked. "Maybe you took 2 pills and forgot and took 2 more, and forgot again and took 2 more, and were so dopey you kept right on until you had 30 and 40 of them in you." "Heck," she said. "What would I want to go and do a silly thing like that for?" "I don't know," he said. She was quite obviously waiting for him to go. "I didn't do that," she said. "Never in a billion years." "All right, if you say so," he said. That's what the lady said. She turned back to her script. What's on this afternoon?" he asked tiredly. "Yeah, me too, bro. I'm also tired, bro." She didn't look up from her script again. "Well, this is a play comes on the wall-to-wall circuit in 10 minutes. They mailed me my part this morning. I sent in some box tops. They write the script with 1 part missing. It's a new idea. The homemaker, it's me. Oh yeah, the homemaker, that's me, is the missing part. When it comes time for the missing lines, they all look at me out of 3 walls and I say the lines. Here, for instance, the man says, "What do you think of this whole idea, Helen?" He looks at me sitting here center stage, see? And I say, she paused and ran her finger on her line in the script. "I think that's fine." And then they go on with the play until he says, "Do you agree with that? Do you agree to that, Helen?" And I say, "I sure do. Isn't that fun, guy?" Nah, bro. I usually read guy as gay, bro. Nah, bro. This is confused. Guy. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry I say gay, bro. I apologize. So, I correct. So, Guy Montag. He stood in the hall looking at her. "It's sure fun," she said. "What's the play about?" "I just told you. There are these people named Bob and Ruth and Helen." "Oh, it's really fun. It'll be even more fun when we can afford to have a 4th wall instead. How long you figure before we saved up and get the 4th wall torn out and the 4th wall TV put in?" "It's only $2,000. That's 1/3 of my yearly pay. It's only $2,000, she replied. "And I should think you'd consider me sometimes. If we had a 4th wall, why it be just like this room wasn't ours at all? But all kinds of exotic people's rooms. We could do without a few things." "We're already doing without a few things to pay for the 3rd wall. It was put in only 2 months ago, remember?" "Is that all it was?" She sat looking at him for a long moment. "Well, goodbye, dear. Goodbye, he said. He stopped and turned around. Does it have a happy ending? I haven't read that far. He walked over, read the last page, nodded, folded the script, and handed it back to her. He walked out of the house into the rain. Okay, today we're done, and I think I'm not showing. I'm reading, but I'm not showing how good am I at English. I'm just wanting to share the book and learn from the book and learn more pronunciations and read more, something like that. So I just want to improve my English because I realized my English was super bad in the start of the year. So I just started reading what we study. Okay, that's all for today, and tomorrow we will continue with the rain was thinning away. Okay, so now this is it. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.